Hey gardening friends, it's Laura, and today I'm spending some time in my greenhouse just dreaming of the gardening season ahead and also some things that I would like to do here in the greenhouse. There's still some spots that need to be filled in. The pond that we built, we'd like to put some koi fish in there. So there's still some things I'd like to do in here, and as a creative person and as a gardener, I'm always thinking of new ways that I can make my space creative, unique, beautiful, and I want to encourage you that you have the same ability. Even if you're a beginner gardener, you can learn to do this. There's no such thing as, having a black thumb or I don't have a green thumb. I promise you, you can do it, and I believe in you. And to have a garden really is so, it's so joyful and so peaceful. So I want to encourage you, if you're a beginner gardener, to just try your hand at it. The easiest thing to do is to plant seeds that are easy to grow, right? Flowers that are easy to grow. Veggies that are easy to grow. So today we're gonna plant some flowers that are very easy to grow. I always say they're like growing weeds in the garden, except for much, much prettier. They are all annuals on my list today, but they are gonna just thrive for you and create bountiful amounts of blooms. And guys, all you need to get started, you don't need a big greenhouse, you don't need a huge garden space. All you need is some pots, some quality dirt, and to tend to your plant babies. So make sure you're not overwatering them, which we'll talk about. Make sure you're not starving them of water or light, which we'll talk about. But it really is easy. I promise you, it is. So, and even if you're a seasoned gardener, I want to welcome you here to my channel. And invite you all to subscribe. I would love to be friends. And I hope you get some inspiration today, whether you're a beginner or you're a more advanced gardener. Here are some of the flowers that I grew in my gardens at Lily Brook last year. The flowers brought butterflies, dragonflies, bees, and a sense of magic to our family of 3. We loved being out in the garden and couldn't wait to get out there every day. These were simple, easy flowers to grow, like zinnias, sunflowers, marigolds, and cosmos. They offered an endless supply of cut flowers for not only my house, but my friends' and family's houses too. You can create this magic at your house. Dream big and don't be afraid to try. Okay, first things first, pots. I really like these biodegradable ones because they're great for the beginner. Pop your seeds in here, and then when your plant is ready to be planted outside, you don't even have to transplant them into the ground. You could just put this right into the dirt, and it'll decompose into the soil, and you don't have to worry about breaking off the stem of the plant or disturbing the roots. So I really like these. But again, you can use any pot you want. Then here's another little trick that I use. I get these shallow Tupperware from places like Big Lots when they're on sale. This one's seen better days, but it still works. And I put all my pots of seedlings in here. And it's great because the water doesn't leak out, which would be great if you're planting inside your house. And also, when it comes time to harden off your seeds, it's super simple. You can take this outside and bring it in without having to, pick up each individual pot. So super handy to have these. So here is the dirt I usually get. It's by Miracle Grow. It is the seed starting mix. And Miracle Grow is great because they have all the nutrients in there that the seedling needs to grow. And I always get the seed starting mix because it's easier for the plant to pop through this. It's a fluffier, lighter type of soil. I had the best of intentions for keeping this super organized. I will have to work on that, obviously. Also, if you really need a seed saving container. This one is awesome. It's from Gardener's Supply. So the first flower we're going to talk about is the zinnia. I'm sure you've heard of zinnias before. I love zinnias. They're so easy to grow and they come in a bunch of colors and varieties. You cannot go wrong with a zinnia. They grow like weeds. They're easy to grow, very easy to grow. They like sunny locations, so make sure you put them somewhere sunny. And this flower performs so well in my gardens. I have flowers from early in the gardening season all the way through autumn. I had so many bouquets of zinnias and they were all beautiful. I loved walking out through my gardens to see all the pops of color from the zinnias. And whether you like tropical colors, whether you like cottage garden look, there is a zinnia for you. Here are just a few that I decided to grow this year. The Showstopper mix, gorgeous. Lily Brook rose. And sometimes you'll see too what I do, and I should do this with all of them, and I will, as soon as I organize everything. I usually put the year that I purchased the seeds. That way I know if they're still viable or not. You know, if it's been several years, they might not sprout for you as well as when they were newer seeds. The Meteor, Oriole, the Giant Wine, the Profusion Cherry, and I loved this one last year, Sahara Starlight Rose. I also got the Isn't It Romantic mix and a few others. I loved the Isn't It Romantic mix. It was just so incredibly beautiful in my gardens last year. Now you may be wondering why I'm using bigger pots, and there's really no other reason except for I had used all the smaller ones for every other seed that I had planted. So you know what? Just use what you have, right? Like I said, you don't have to be perfect about this at all. And these flowers are going to grow for you, and it gives them more room to spread out and get bigger before you put them outside too. So that's not necessarily a bad thing, but really I'm just using this because, yeah, I'll show you why. Here's the why. I've already planted a ton of seeds. And while I'm here, guys, this is a perfect time to show you what plants need watered. These need water. Can you guys see that? They're very dry. And one of the biggest reasons why these are dry and the other ones aren't is because this particular container is close to the heat in the greenhouse. So now these don't look too bad. You can stick your finger in there and see if it feels dry. Does it feel dry? Then they need water. This is actually a little too dry. I should have not let them get quite as dry, but like I said, they are right next to the heater. They'll be fine. Look, they're still green and perky and just fine. But if I had let this go another day, not so fine. Gentle mist. If you use a hose inside, you know, don't drown them. Don't dislodge the seeds. Now back to planting our new seeds. So I'm gonna plant the Sahara Starlight Rose first. And if you're wondering where I got this dirt box, my husband actually made this for me. So he's out cutting wood today outside the greenhouse. So if you hear that, that's what that sound is. So with zinnia seeds, here's what they look like, guys. I already have my dirt manicure going on. This is what they look like. I always usually put 2 in there because I like to make sure I know that there's 2 in case one decides it's a bad seed. And these guys, you just put in a little ways into the dirt, okay? So you don't want to push it really far down. You just want to put it in about up to here. Just like that. perfect. Now we want to give them a light misting of water. The other thing you can do, and I didn't show it in this particular video because if you're inside planting, it makes it more difficult. If you're outdoors or you're in a greenhouse or something, not so difficult. But if you wet the soil before you put it in here, it's a great idea because it keeps the soil moist and more even with water. But if you're planting inside, especially if you're like me and in Pennsylvania and you're not in a greenhouse, you're just inside your kitchen or something, that could be really messy. So it won't dislodge the seeds if you just lightly water them after the fact. There are so many different colors and varieties of zinnias. You can't go wrong with planting zinnias. Whatever you like, whether it's tropical colors or more cottage colors, you will find them with the zinnia, and their blooms are just so beautiful. Don't forget to label your plants. Really important. So you know exactly what you have, right? Especially if you're new to gardening, you may not recognize the seedling. It is so bright in the greenhouse today, guys. I'm just like squinting. I should have brought my sunglasses with me. And fun fact, people who have gray eyes, like I do, are supposed to have the most sensitive eyes to the light and the sun out of any eye color. At least that's what I read. And it seems like it's true for me because my husband, he could be outside. He does not have gray eyes and it's bright out and it doesn't seem to affect him at all. But when it's bright for me, it's like, oh, blinding. So it is very bright in here today and hot as well. But I can't have the fans running while I'm filming because they're too loud and you guys would not be able to hear me. So if I look like I'm a wilted flower, you'll know why. So next on my list is cosmos. Cosmos are so easy to grow and they're so beautiful. And they will, again, produce for you just as prolifically as the zinnia. And I got several different varieties. These are from Eden Brothers. I got Rosetta, and I got Versailles, and I got Xanthos. I also got Sensation Mix. There's a white mix too that I already planted, but I honestly don't know the name of it. Sorry, guys. And I think I have some other packages roaming around here, but these are the ones I'm going to focus on this year because I really loved the color of these. Here is what the Cosmo seeds look like. So again, you just want to press them into the soil and only cover them slightly. Guys, don't worry, if you read the back of the seed package, typically it does have the directions on there. And then keep your seed packets so you can refer to them throughout the gardening season. And I always label mine with the year, and that way, and any notes as well. If I really liked the flower, I know what to get for the next year. Oh no, I just dropped one. Cosmo down. Shoot. All right, well that one I have to replant. Man. I may just be the most clumsiest human being on the planet. Not even lying. One time I was taking videos around my garden and I had a little kiddie pool for my dogs actually. And this wasn't actually in this house, but it was in another house that we lived in. And I tripped over the threshold for the doorway and it launched me through the door like Superwoman. I don't know how I even went that far, but I belly flopped into the kiddie pool. And thankfully, I don't know how I did it, but I held my camera above my head so that it didn't get ruined. But I laid in the pool laughing hysterically, and I just kept thinking, you remember that show, America's Funniest Videos? If that was filming right then, I would have won first prize. I really think I would have. Alright guys, I'm taking a little respite from that intense heat and sun in the greenhouse. It's kind of chilly outside today and it feels so good. It's windy and it's cooling me off. So the next flower that I want to talk to you about is the marigold. Super simple to grow, and certain varieties are great for cut flowers. And while I'm out here, I'll show you the potager where we plant a bunch of our veggies and our cut flowers. So these are the big stone beds we built. We actually had a giant stack of stone when we bought this house. The previous owner didn't want it and obviously couldn't take it with them, so they left it for us, which we were happy about because we can build beds and things out of it. So we planted a bunch of flowers, sunflowers in the back, and then zinnias and plenty of other flowers in the front. And then on this side, my husband and I built wooden raised beds, and here we planted a bunch of veggies. Now last year in this empty spot, we have a pop-up pool. We love to swim. My son loves to be in the water, so we put that there. We live in Pennsylvania, so to have an in-ground pool, you know, we don't get to use it enough. It's just not warm enough, long enough, but that works perfect for us. So we left that spot, and it's great because we get to swim amongst the flowers, but we did put veggies in here as well. So obviously, guys, I'm going to plant way more seeds than just these few pots, but I just want to show you how to plant each one. So, you know, I'm not going to do 100 of them at a time. This video would be like 3 hours long. Although I would love to spend some time with you guys. That would be amazing. So the marigold mix I'm going to plant right now is the Cracker Jack mix. And again, super hardy. Let me show you guys what the seeds look like. I hope you guys can see this. I love when the seeds aren't super small because they're easier to plant. Like the black-eyed Susans were really, really small, and now I see in the ones that I've planted, there are several plants that, oopsie, I had put in way too many seeds because I just literally, they're just like little specks of pepper. So when they're larger like this, much easier to plant. There we have it, an entire tray of easy to grow flowers from seed. What do you guys think? Are you gonna attempt to grow your flowers from seeds? And what flowers will you decide to grow? There are several others that are super easy to grow. One that I grew this last season, and I grew a ton more than I normally do, are sunflowers. And they made me so happy. They're such a joyful flower, and they make a big statement. So I don't know how many times people slowed down, stopped, told me as they drove past our farm how much they loved the sunflowers. And they're so easy to grow. Anyone could grow them, truly. And I get them in a variety of colors. And then I also, I plant them in succession, right? So I start some of them inside from seed. So I have early bloomers, and then I plant them outside as well. Like I just direct seed some of them. Sorry for the noise, guys. It's really windy outside, so it's rattling the fans and the walls of the greenhouse. But then I'll direct seed some of them outside as well, because then they're gonna grow all the way through fall. The birds loved them. They didn't destroy them though. I was really happy about that. We had enough that, you know, they didn't just eat all of the seeds. But getting towards the end of autumn, I would say they were hungrier. So they made their way to my sunflowers. But man, they were just, if I could tell you like one show-stopping flower to grow, it would definitely be the sunflower, because you can get them in all different heights, all different sizes. We got some of the skyscraper ones this last summer. My son loved them because the flowers are like massive. They're huge. They're beautiful. So you can get those in a variety of colors. Here's the varieties I chose. And now I'll just talk to you a little bit about some easy to grow perennials, right? Because everything thus far has been annuals, and I do think that annuals are more resilient for beginners, but there are a few flowers that are perennials that will come back year after year that, again, I think are like weeds almost. They're so resilient. So the first is the Black-Eyed Susan. They are so beautiful, and they spread, and when they spread, their color is just, it is so beautiful. I just love seeing them. It's more of a cottage garden wildflower look, but I have a lot of them on my property. So also daisies come back every year, super easy to grow from seed, as well as Black-Eyed Susans. Both of them are very easy to grow from seed. And I will say, there is something so special and fills me with so much pride to know when I look at those flowers in my garden, run my hands across the top of them, smell them, to know that I started with this little tiny seed and I nurtured that and grew that to this beautiful flower. That is a really miraculous thing. And I encourage you to try that for yourself in your garden this year. And if you've done growing seeds before, maybe you want to expand your repertoire. Try something a little bit more difficult to grow, or expand how much you grow. This year, I'm challenging myself to really purchase very little from the garden center. I do love Proven Winners Super Tunias. Those are amazing. I will always purchase those. Check those out if you don't know what they are. They are a variety of petunia that you do not have to deadhead, and they are spectacular. They're beautiful, and they come in lots of different colors. But for the vast majority of my flowers, I'm gonna grow them myself. And when I walk through my gardens this year, I'm gonna know that, hey, I grew that. And that's a pretty cool thing. A few others you may wanna give a try are snapdragons, calendula, nasturtium, sweet peas are easy. So these are all things that you could just fill your gardens with the most beautiful flowers that are super easy to grow. You have a green thumb. I believe in you. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. I really appreciate you. And if you would like to subscribe, I would be so grateful. We also have a website, lilybrookfarm.com, where we do sell live plants that can be delivered for free right to your doorstep. And we have a bunch of unique and fun gardening gifts on our website as well. So every day we're adding more stuff, and I think you guys might enjoy it as gardeners. So be sure to check that out. And again, guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I wish you all the luck in the world growing your flowers from seeds. I know you can do it. Send me your photos, would you? I would love that. I'm on Instagram too. My name on there is Lily Brook Farm. So you can find me there. Tag me in your photos of the the flowers that you've grown from seed. I would love that so much. I love seeing other people's gardens and the unique and beautiful things they're doing there. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.